Let's see. So did y'all see about the Ari Lennox thing? If you don't know, quick recap. She was like, basically seeing Pam on Martin growing up, she didn't like that the darker skinned woman was always being made fun of. She felt like she was always like the butt of the joke, and she didn't like that. And she felt like it was something wrong with that. And then people was like, what do you talk about? We all loved Pam.
So I have some things to talk about today. I was browsing on a shade room post, and I saw the girl say, I had to make sure these comments are passing the vibe check. That's when I realized a lot of you all are sheep and scary, meek and mild, afraid to stand out and stand on what you truly believe without outside influence. That is the internet. A brainwashing lie. A platform where people's opinions change.
She sound like she doing slam poetry. That shit sound like slam poetry. A time to be alive where we all can thrive. Ari Lennox.
Based on what the comment section says, not even what the video is about, and not even how you truly feel as the individual you are. I'm owning my shit as the sensitive and very much so alive and electrified woman I am, and continue to speak my mind.
Everybody snap fingers for Ari.
And happily y'all off in the process. If I had ill intent, I would have came on here with a PowerPoint presentation that backs my claims on the types of jokes Martin used on Pam being wildly offensive. That will never be my intent.
In the 90s, though, there was a lot of humor that would just not be acceptable now. Everybody really, really would get offended. And that's, again, going back to whether you're fat, whether you're gay, whether you're light-skinned, whether you're dark-skinned, whether you're Asian, whether you're Spanish. Like, there was a lot of humor. It was a wild time growing up. Like, people were saying the R word, bleak tort, people were saying the maggot word with the F word. Like, that was common phrases growing up until about 2010, when there was more social media, and a lot of people in these groups started being like, that hurts our feelings, that's really offensive, we don't like that, this is not this. So I get it. Somebody said In Living Color alone was a wild show. No, for real. I mean, it's already canceled, but if we was to go back and watch it now, people would be trying to cancel it.
But I will stand on business forever knowing them jokes was wild. And I don't say any of this with any desire to rewrite history. Those actors and actresses are legends, and I meant no harm to them. I don't need any army of people defending me or agreeing with me. That has always been a rare occurrence for me. But I feel amazing in knowing that I will validate myself and my feelings before I look to you or yours. Sorry, there we go. This is why it's read. Sorry. I'm going to reread that part. But I feel
so she's reading off of something that she wrote. Okay, I get it. I think she got social anxiety. So maybe that's what she had. She sound like she's reading a teleprompter, right? She just said, I'm reading. Wait, I have to reread that part. I was wondering why. I'm like, why does it sound like a recital?
And knowing that I will validate myself and my feelings before I look to you for yours.
Okay.
I'm also aware that people have been called worse things by people they love and by their enemies. So maybe their experience with Martin was special and therapeutic and unique to them. I never was a fan of roasting, period, as I am a very sensitive.
Oh, she's saying she's sensitive?
And I will for sure drag somebody to hell.
I feel her on that. And I myself, I don't do too much of the roasting comedy, because I do think even when you're roasting and joking, scripted roasting on a comedy show, it's different. It's different in a sketch versus like people who on stage and they roast the audience, or the shows or things or forums where it's kind of like, all right, roasting. I'd be like, yeah, roasting, it'd be funny, but somebody's got to be the butt of the joke. At the end of the day, roasting involves somebody being made fun of, versus another style of comedy where you're kind of roasting the world or life or topics of things versus somebody specifically, because you talk about somebody's pants, that's a funny roast. Even if they laughing like, ha ha ha, I bet you they don't fucking wear them pants again, though. So at the end of the day, somebody's got to be the butt of the joke with the roast. But when it does come to scripted comedy, even though if they do roast, it's like you're more roasting the characters. So it don't hit the same. Like, I don't know. That was definitely a tone difference. It sounds like ChatGPT. No, it do. It sounded like she was like, how can I respond to Martin backlash?
So anyway, I'm also happily hypocritical and divided as I am a human and a major fan of comedy and it can understand things from multiple.
No. Don't say you're a major fan of comedy and you just said you sensitive and you can't take scripted jokes. Like, this wasn't a comedian roasting a handicapped person in the audience who, like, the audience feels uncomfortable. Like, damn, these are fictional characters. My dear, you're triggered. You're sensitive. You can't be a fan of comedy and get mad because fictional characters are roasting each other because one person to use the same complexion as you. That goes to, well, were you getting made fun of at that age for being that complexion and that's why you didn't like it? It's like, it's a trigger. It's not the other person doing something wrong. And that's when you privately have to work on your triggers so you're not publicly making everybody else be responsible for your triggers. Not that you can't be a human and have how you feel. It's not. Your brain's a computer. Since you're little, you're going to think this is wrong with you. This is right. This is what's wrong with the world. This is what's right. But you also have, as an adult, have to go back and be like,
I'm very triggering and powerful, so any observation and opinion I release can go viral. And I should have been aware of that as I was having fun on that IG Live. I'm aware of what's happening right now as well. I've been having these opinions in private, and I decided to open up to 200 people in an IG Live. I like to talk, y'all, and I like to think. Hell, I just watched the Bernie Mac stand-up a few years back, and I understand why he is a legend that he is, but I also couldn't help but to feel uncomfortable about some of his jokes too.
stop watching comedy. Stop watching comedy. You don't get it. You don't understand it. You the worst motherfucker to go to a comedy show. Be sitting there sipping your drink. Bitch, this is funny. Fucking laugh, ho. You mad at Bernie Mac? He's not even here. He's not even here. We wish he was here. He's not even here. You say you love comedy, you're offended by a person who's not even here. Stop watching comedy. Turn it off.
But my sister, whom I love, Gemini, reminded me that comedy is there to cross that line and say what you would never expect a soul to say. For that, comedians are bold and brave, and I could never have the in that way ever in my life. Everyone gets triggered by something, but not everyone admits to it or wants to have conversations about it.
That's true.
Every time I get on IG Live, people will deem any of my excerpts as sensitive or a PSA. So I'm going to stand in that truth. Because it's true, y'all. I'm sensitive.
Yeah. And comedy, especially black comedy, because motherfuckers have been through a lot. So at the end of the day, you got to keep it real. As a black person in America, you go through too damn much to censor what the fuck you got to say. Comedy ain't for the sensitive people then. It's not. It's not. Catching a stray in the afterlife is a little crazy, right?
Are afraid to do because they don't want to cause disruption and discomfort to their fans and their haters. Nobody wants to be uncool. But y'all, I will die the coolest and fearless. I'm going to keep going on IG Live. And I'm going to keep talking until you understand that I will never stop talking. Because I'm not some AI bot like so many of you are. Imagine being fake reprimanded by thousands over an opinion that harms nobody. An observation. Hell, a fact. Never in a million years.
See, that's the difference. An observation is not a fact. And that's where I know in my commentary, this is how I feel. Just because I feel like this about Ari Lennox, that don't mean it's a fact. It's how I feel. So that's, again, her self-accountability that I need, where it's like, you say it as if it's a fact and it's true, versus, this is how I feel. This is how this made me feel. I think if you do that, then that's like, okay, cool. That's how you felt as Ari Lennox, a woman who was this complexion, who felt like this and was triggered by that. This is how I felt. Does anybody else feel this way? Because this was a trigger and a problem for me. And furthermore, here's how I dealt with that trigger growing up and have overcome it. That's the journey of humanity that we all should be striving to have, from being young to being an adult. But you can't just think because you were triggered by what jokes Martin, not Martin real Lawrence, Martin the character Martin, and Pam, not Arnold, the character, were saying to each other. You can't just act like it's fact, like Martin was wrong. That's not a fact. That's how you feel. So there's that.
But I'm grateful for my 2 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
That's good.
And my little pickup truck.
Yeah.
And this album, Vacancy, I'm about to drop in the fall.
Nice.
And the opportunities that I'm constantly blessed with. I'm not desperate for fans, so please continue to spew your feelings about me. And be mad.
She got quiet after that, like she didn't even believe it that she wanted us to be mad. She had to take a pause and be mad. Her brain like, I don't want nobody to be mad. I don't want to, like, bitch, what was the pause? Stand on it. Now you said, and be mad. Because I feel like keep going. What you mean? And be mad. You don't want nobody to be mad at you. You said you sensitive. Girl, stop.
I'm going to sit here and collect my thoughts about Dreamville. Because I want to go in detail about that because I think it's about time to talk about it. But I want to collect my thoughts the way I've been sitting and collecting my thoughts about this Martin situation. I love you guys, and I will be back.
You can say what you want to say. Like, I genuinely, I'm like, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But it is like, when it comes to comedy, I'm always standing up for people being able to say whatever the fuck they want to say. Because people be so offended and so mad nowadays. It's just like, bruh, like, you gotta tell the difference between when somebody really is upset and when people just joking. Like, bruh, and sometimes jokes need to be fucking said. Like, sometimes it's needed. Like, somebody gotta say it.